Hey everyone, it's Matt here, and today we're doing another episode of Did I Get What I Ordered? And it is the first in 2022. The footage is from still last year, but point is that this is the first one in 2022, and with the last few that I filmed for the Christmas one, I mentioned how hot it was in my house. Well, thankfully it is cool enough to finally wear a leather jacket. So I'm hyped about that, and hopefully you're going to be hyped about some of these really cool pickups that I picked up. And as always, you can guess down below what they are. I'll give you a few hints right now. So the first is for the PSP. It is a video game adaptation of a long-running anime that we did not get in the US, which is the game we didn't get in the US. The anime we did. Hopefully that makes it easier, although there were so many of those on the PSP that still probably makes it quite difficult. The second one is for the Switch. It is the third installment of a series and is one that I actually have played on this channel before. Not that specific game, but games from the series. And the third thing is actually something that goes along with the Game Boy Advance. Although I say goes along with, I should clarify, it is compatible with the Game Boy Advance. It is not a peripheral, but it is compatible, and it's related to games. So guess down below and we'll jump to all of these pickups right now. So for the first game we're taking a look at, we need a little bit of help from Mr. Knife. And the game I ended up picking up is Digimon World Redigitized for the PSP. So like I mentioned before, this is a game that we did not get here in the US, but thankfully the game has been fan translated, so we'll be talking about that in a future video on this channel. And also the PSP is region free. So thankfully I can pop this into my PSP and just, play it, which I'll be showing footage a little bit later. Manual is a little bit beat up, but thankfully though I did get a manual. You'll see the price of the game on screen. I think that was actually a fair price when I bought it at the time. Manual, of course, in Japanese, and the game itself will still be in Japanese. I don't think there's any way to buy fan translated UMDs as of this time, so the game will still be in Japanese, but I could end up ripping it and patching it and playing that on my modded PSP. But either way, let's pop this game in. So satisfying. And it's loading. It's loading. Hello? You loading? Oh, there we go. The game in all of its glory. Hello, past version of me, as you can see from the Matt multiverse over here reflected in the background there. But, like I mentioned before, game is still in Japanese, but it does work. So at least I can still play it either way. So the next thing we're checking out is something that I did do an unboxing of on this channel, and I do want to take a closer look at over at our Game Time channel, which I will link in the description box down below. But what's really cool about this is that it is actually a relatively cheap, I would say, flash card, especially compared to some of the other stuff out there for the Game Boy Advance, and it is called the Easy Flash Omega. So you could pop this into your DS, your Game Boy Advance, even your DS Lite. On the back there, you actually saw that you could actually swap out the cartridge size, even though you still could fit a normal one on a DS Lite, but it would be kind of sticking out a bit, so you can actually replace it with the other size of the back of the cartridge. And so this was $55. I got this on Amazon, and I think that compared to some of the other ones out there, even though they are from reputable companies as well, like Everdrive, don't know why the name was escaping me, but even though those are great and I've heard great things about them, I didn't really want to spend that kind of money, especially as I was just kind of diving into this stuff for the first time, at least when it came to the GBA. So I did know that, as you can see, it comes with a save battery in the back there, so you can play games that have save batteries, and I'll be showing a little bit of footage off. You can see that that's where you put in the micro SD card, and like I mentioned before, it is compatible with all Game Boy Advances and also compatible with the DS as well, and that's what we'll be testing it on a little bit later. Also, you can see on the back here that that's the screw that you would end up replacing with the other smaller back of the case to fit into your DS Lite. Also good to note, because it says Omega down here, it actually confirms that this is an official Easy Flash Omega cartridge. There are people selling fake ones out there, so at the very least we know that this one's legit, thank God. So as we're testing this out on the DS, you can see that there's actually other emulators on this as well. Not all of them work as well as the GBA one, so I would suggest just sticking to GBA, but yes, you can use NES, Game Boy, and Game Boy Color games. As you can see here from this Kirby game, when it comes to Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, the aspect ratio isn't full. It gets better if you're using it on an original Game Boy Advance, but it's never full. So I would suggest just going with GBA games. The resolution is not as good, I would argue, on the GBA as it is on the DS for GBA games as it is on an original GBA or even a GBA clone, which I'll be talking about that in the exclusive video over at our Game Time when that comes out. But the point is that when it comes to this flash cart, I really do enjoy it. I can use words. I've enjoyed it so far. I don't know if it's sucking up the battery life from my DS more so than another game would, or if it's because this is my OG DS from back in the day. That's the reason why. But I do notice that my DS is kind of losing charge quick while I'm losing this, so be sure to keep that in mind. But either way though, I really do enjoy it from what I've played so far. For 55 bucks, I actually think that it's worth it. I don't know about it long term, and as I continuously use it, I'll tell you if it ends up breaking down long term. But you know what? I got what I ordered. It works, and I can play a lot of RPGs and even some fan translations as well, things that either never came here or when it comes to the RPGs that are way too expensive for me to try to dip into right now. Like, I have a copy of Lunar Legend and of Superstar Saga. If I didn't have those in my collection, I would end up putting these on the flash card because I don't want to spend money on those now, especially having to wade through fakes and all that. So like I said, even though I've already done an unboxing of this, I did end up picking this up around the same time I picked up these other things in this video, so I'm just happy it works. I was a little bit worried about that, about saving money, and then in the long term, perhaps it exploding. Thankfully, not the case. So the last thing we're taking a look at is brand new, came directly from Amazon, but still going to test it out either way just in case, and it is Luigi's Mansion 3 for the Nintendo Switch. So I have never played this game before. I played the first one, of course, also on this very channel. The second one I'm still trying to dredge through, and I have to get through that sooner rather than later because I would love to play this on the channel in the future, either with Tristan or just by my lonesome. I would love to be able to play this because I've heard such good things about it. And you know, funny thing, so many people talk about the fact that Nintendo games never go on sale. Well, I actually got this for 40 bucks brand new because yes, Nintendo things do go on sale. Do not believe the internet hype. It's just that they usually retain their value over time even when the system is no longer in print. And they don't they rarely go on sale, I'll say that much. But at the same time though, when Amazon needs to get rid of their stock, they'll go $20 to $30 down. Oh, no. Look, I didn't expect a manual. I'm very happy to see that box art on the back there. It's technically not reversible cover work because there's no like logos or anything. And it's so weird that there's tabs there. Like they expected a little mini manual or something, but no manual, of course. The cartridge is right there. And I have to say, God, that E for everyone is always so large. It's always so off-putting on these Switch cartridges. But I have to say that overall, I do like the artwork on the front of the cartridge. And the back of the cartridge is indeed, if you were curious, it is in fact the back of the cartridge. But either way, let's test this game out. Alright, are you gonna work? Are you gonna work? And there it is. So, game works. Thankfully, let's actually go into the game though, just to be sure. Yeah, as you can see, this game works and I can't wait to play it. So I definitely have to get through the second game, Dark Moon, and I have to get through it soon. Alright, so let's jump back to me in front of the shelf. So that about wraps up this video, and I am so happy that I don't have to take off this leather jacket in anger at the end of this episode. I can kind of just be a little bit mellow. I mean, the heat in my apartment is getting a little hot, especially with that light on. I shouldn't look directly into it. I did that last time, did it again. Hurts. But the point is that even with all of that, it's still leather jacket season, and I'm happy about it. So, love you all. Take care, and tune in next time for something completely different, or maybe this. You can find out by liking, subscribing, and also checking out some of our social medias, which will be linked in the description box down below. Alright, everybody. So, love y'all, take care, and see ya.